Hey YouTube, this is John for Simplistic RC, and today I'll be talking about multi-rotor mania. I just bought a quadcopter from them, 250 size, and I'll be doing a build video following this. But anyway, I want to show you what I got. And these guys over at Multi-Rotor, they are wonderful people. They got good customer service. Their shipping is fast. You know, their parts are good quality, and I got to give it up for them. You know, I got to give them a thumbs up. So I'm going to go here to bundles and multi-rotor packages. Then I'm going to scroll down, and if you notice, they got all types of frames. They got the GTN frames. They got the 100% carbon fiber frames. They got fiberglass frames. But the one that I've got is here, the 100% carbon fiber mini quad bundle, and for $135 right here. And you can see it's temporarily out of stock. I bought it maybe about 5-6 weeks ago, and I'm just getting around to building it now. But those guys, they're really good at keeping their stock up. So when they're out of stock, usually they get new shipments in pretty quickly, you know. And like I said, their shipping is fast. So check these guys out. Alright, so I'm going to click on this. This is the one that I got. Okay, and we're going to click on the picture here. And if you can see that it comes with a distribution board. It comes with 4 12 amp ESCs, 4 2300 kV black edition motors, and 4 props. And also you see that it's got a Mobius mount on top, and then it has a mount for your FPV camera. And let's close this. And I paid $135 for it. And down here you can see also what it comes with. Now these are 250 millimeters frames, so they're meant to fly with 3S 1300 batteries, but you can put bigger batteries in them or 4S batteries in them. And right here you can see it says for 4S we have a setup for you, and you can click there if you want to use a 4S battery, and they'll give you the suggested, well, they'll give you the bundle that will go with that. Now this doesn't come with a flight controller, and so you can pick whatever flight controller you want to put in it. What they offer is the KK2, the CC3D, and the Dragonfly, the Pro or the Acro. And what I got was the Acro, the 32-bit, and so we're going to click on that here. Oh, I want to make sure that I want to inform you guys that if you're going to get a quad, make sure that you get extra props. The motors turn in opposite directions. 2 motors turn clockwise, 2 motors turn counterclockwise. So you got to make sure when you get extra props that you get a pack of props that turn clockwise and a pack of props that turns counterclockwise. So you're going to need those extra props because as you tweak it, you are going to break some props. You know, those spares come in handy. Okay, so we're going to move on. So I paid $22 for the flight controller, and right down here you can see it has a setup tab, and you click on that, and it'll give you a diagram of setting it up for the complete GPS, OSD, and FPV connections. And if you click on that, it will take you to this page. Alright, and then also if you just want to set up your GPS, you click on that and it'll take you to this page. And I'll be using the FreeSky telemetry connection diagram, and that's this page here, which I'll get more in depth about that later on in the build. And also, you got to download your drivers to set up the flight controller, which we'll get into that later on in the build too. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up the camera at my build table, and I'll be right back. Hey YouTube, this is John for Simplistic RC, and now we're ready for the build. I'm at my build table, and this is the 250 quad that I showed you on Multi-Rotor Mania. And so this is it right here. So here's my ESCs, 4 of them. And as you can see, my 4 motors here. This is what comes with it. And here's the board for your connections. You got your hardware. Now I'm not going to use the standoffs that they have. I went and I bought from them the nylon standoffs, so I'm going to use these. Alright, so we're going to put those right up there. Well, let's put these to the side. I just want to show you what comes with it. Then you have this is my flight controller, and here's my props. And the frame. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, and all of this came from Multi-Rotor Mania. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and put all this back in the box for right now. And first thing we're going to do, we're going to take a look at this frame. Okay, there goes my forearms. Bottom plate, middle plate, top plate, Mobius mount, FPV camera mount, and your stands, which I'm not going to use these. I'm not going to use those. Okay, and I'm just going to show you what one of the motors look like. Alright, that's the motors there. The bag of the hardware. You got bullets. I'm not going to use the bullets. And let's break out one of the speed controllers. Wait a minute, get into this bag. Nice, they come in static proof bags. Let's see if I can find the seam of it. There it is. Okay, and that's the speed controller. See if we can focus in on this. Okay. And as I mentioned earlier, I have the Dragon Acro 32-bit, and this is what it looks like. Okay, and I've got the initials on the back, and it comes with the pins for your connections. Okay. Okay, so that's it. Also, what I'll be using besides these nylon standoffs, I also have some spacers that I'll be using. And I love these spacers because they have, you can see the little curve in there where the wires will go straight through. So that should make it look really nice and neat. Alright, so what we're going to do first is we're going to put the motors on the arms. I'm going to mount the motors, and then number two, I'm going to go ahead and prep the ESCs and then connect those to the motors. And then after that, then what I'll be doing is the what's the power distribution board. Then I'll be connecting the number three. I'll be connecting power to the ESCs on the arms, and then I'll mount it to the frame. So those are the first three things that I'll be doing. So I'm going to go ahead and set up and get ready for that. I'm only going to do like one motor, one arm, one ESC, and all the rest of them are the same except for the motors. Two of them go counterclockwise and two of them go clockwise, you know, so it's just crossing the wires. So I'll show you that after when I hook up the ESCs. All right. Okay, got my Loctite, got my my tool here, and so I'm just going to do just one motor to show you how it's done. So I'm pulling the motor out the box. As you can see, here's the part number for the motor that they supply with this build, with this bundle. See if we can focus on that. There you go. So that's the part number. Alright, so pull it off. Nice little motors. It's nice little motors. Yeah, they're really nice. But what I have noticed is, you could see it here. Let's see if we can focus. These two holes, mounting holes, are farther apart, and these two are close. And also, right here where the wires are, there's wires up under these two mounting holes. And let me show you the hardware here. Dump all this out. Now I'm not going to use the bullets. We're going to solder directly to the ESCs. And in the bag you get your adapter and the prop adapter, and you get these hex screws, and there's two different sizes. Let me show you that. Let's see if we can focus in. Come on, focus. There you go. Well, you can see there are two different sizes. Okay, so what I'm going to use, because of those holes being spreaded apart, and what the problem is two of the holes are too shallow. They won't fit. They won't be seen through these two slots, and the other two they end up right here. So I'm only going to mount 2 screws in this build, and that's the 2 holes that are farther apart. And what I'll be using is the shorter screws because, like I said, on one side of the motor you got wires right up under it, so I don't want to use the longer screws. So I'm going to use the 2 short screws, and then later on when I put the prop adapter on, I'll be using short screws as well on the top. So we're not going to use any of the long screws on this build. So let me pick out my short screws for the motor mount, and I'm only going to use 2, so we're going to slide the rest to the side. And what I'm going to do here, go ahead and focus down. I'm going to mount my wires to go straight back. You'll see that. So they'll be going straight like this. Okay? So I'm going to turn the motor and the mounting holes on the motor so that I'll get this configuration of my wires. Let's line them up here. Okay, there goes one hole. So I'm going to start this first hole. I'm just going to start this hole right now. Alright, I'm just going to start that hole, and then I'm going to go ahead and put my Loctite on this nut. You don't need that much. That should be enough. And now, seeing that I got this one screw in here that helps the motor to sit still while I put the other screw in. See, it lines up just perfectly. I guess not. I think I need a little bit more Loctite. Yeah, that should be enough. Okay, let's line this back up. Let's try this again. Not getting the hole here. Let me see. There it is. Alright, got it that time. Alright, before I tighten that down, I'm going to go ahead and put some Loctite on this one. we go. Go ahead and tighten these down a little bit. Just enough where I can slide the motor back and forth to center that into this. Loosen this one up a little bit. Oh, that's not the one. Okay. So I can just see if you can see that. Alright, I'm just trying to center up the middle of the spindle of the motor. I mean, the best you can. You can just do it by eye, and that looks good. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and tighten that down. And I'm going to double check it. I can tweak it a little bit. Loosen this one up just a smidget. Slide that over. And that looks good right there. Just a little bit. That looks good. Alright, go ahead and tighten that all the way down. Alright, there you go. Alright, so we're going to do that 4 times. So I'll be right back. Okay, we got my motors on, arms. Okay. A lot tight, and like I said, all the wires will be going this way. Alright, so we could take these. Set these to the side. And next will be the speed controls. We're on number 2, prepping the ESCs. So now we're going to prep the ESC. Now, what I'm going to do is we're going to take these 3 wires off and then cut these wires and strip them back and connect them directly to the ESC, and the ESC will be mounted here on the arm like that. Okay, and then this will run to the distribution board and into our flight controller. Now some people cut all of the shrink tubing off, but what I'm going to do, which I've already done it on this one, I just cut it back. And then what I'll do is I'll take a piece of heat shrink, bring it in, and all I had to do is just shrink it around the outer edge. Yeah. Okay, I went on and prepped the ESCs, which is step 2, and now we're going to move on to step 3. And what I did was I took a ruler and I took a ESC and I placed it here, and then at the same time I took my bottom frame and made sure that the ESC wasn't going to bump up against it, because remember I got the spacer and the wire is going to feed through, so that's a good spot for it. So what I did, I looked at the position here and I measured to right here, and I just took a ruler and I knew the distance. I measured the distance, and then I put the ruler here and made a mark. I don't know if you could see it, but I made a mark right here, right there. Yeah, you can see it. So now what I'll do made a mark on all of them. So now all I have to do is bring my wires here and then cut them right here at the mark, and then strip them back so I can solder them to the ESC. So I got my mark here. The Sharpie is always good. You need one for the build here. I'm gonna put all my wires right there where the mark is, and I'm gonna mark them so I know where they are. And all I have to do is use my dikes for this one and just cut them. Oh, those dikes are pretty dull. I use my cutter. Matter of fact, I can just do all of them at once with this cutter. Bring them up to my mark. And cut. Okay. So here's my wires cut here. And what I'll do is I'll strip them back, and you'll see it go here. And if you notice, that's just right. So my wires will connect to the ESC right here. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the other three.